morning, everybody. I meant to take this apart and brush it out, and I didn't get to. Well, I probably could have. I just sometimes you just get busy, you know, and you forget about things. Had a doctor's appointment this morning with I guess it's just a medical appointment. I don't know. You still call it a doctor's appointment, right? Do you have a certified nurse practitioner that you see and you still call it a dog at a doctor's appointment? That's what I do. I call it a doctor's appointment. And my A1C is stable. I'm doing great. That is great news. I'm very happy about that. Let me use this different brush for this. Very happy about that. A1C is stable and good. I've got some stuff. We're upping the dosage because, just why not? Give her a try, see what happens, and if anything negative happens, we'll just go back to the other dose. That is just the way it is. And I'm fine with that. Some people probably wouldn't be fine with that, but that's okay too. You're more than welcome to not be fine with that. They're getting a lot more, I don't know, it's a little weird to me because I get my flu shot, because why not? Just get the flu shot, why not? I just do that for myself and for those around me. I just, I've always requested it, or they've always asked me, do you want one? And I'm like, sure, why not? Because if they wouldn't have asked me, I probably would have forgotten. But they always ask. They always ask this time of the year, so I always say, yeah, sure, why not? So they were very weird to me about it, because she's like, you want a flu shot? And I'm like, sure, I'll get a flu shot. That sounds great. And then she had to ask permission. Is it okay if I administer this flu shot to you? And I'm like, yeah. I asked for the flu shot, so yeah, I'd love that. Now, maybe, I don't know. It must have been something. Something must have happened. Everything like that, it exists because something has happened to where now we have to ask permission before we could administer the stuff that they requested for us to administer, so something has happened. I mean, it's like there's a reason why there's do not drink on the side of a bleach bottle. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, something must have happened. Maybe not at OSU, but maybe at a different, a different place, and it kind of trickled down to a lot of medical people that they're like, we need to ask again and double check to make sure that this is what they actually want. So, which, I'm fine with, going through the rigmarole. I mean, I'm a sane individual who is fine with being asked questions and asking questions and, trying to understand what's happening. And if I understand what's happening, then we're in good shape. So, that might be all that it boils down to, is that, they just want people to understand what is happening. And they're like, what is happening right now is we are administering a shot. Is that okay? So I can't fault them for that, but I will say it was a very odd experience with them asking, do you want the shot? And then, is it okay if I administer the shot? Because I guess opinions can change, and I'm not saying that they shouldn't, but opinions on that can change over the period of a couple of minutes. So is it okay if I administer the shot? It was just interesting and good, I guess. You should always double and triple make sure. It's just that they've never doubled and or triple made sure. You can kind of see, I don't know if you can see, honestly, there's kind of like a buildup of coffee grounds in there that I can't reach with anything. So I'm kind of sweeping them with the burr, because there's almost like little things on the side there that are on the burrs here. You can see these 3 little prongs on the side, and they're close enough to where if they've got a load of coffee grounds, they can kind of sweep them to the little hole here, and it'll come out the bottom as it would normally through the act of grinding the coffee. So I'm pretty sure I've done this for you guys once or twice. It is definitely a lot more, you know, it's like if you go from a snap model kit, which is perfectly fine, to one you got to use glue on and paint and stuff. So you kind of, you know, you go from one grinder that's a little bit less flaky and finicky when it comes to retention and stuff like that, to something like this that's a little bit more of a hands-on necessary thing to keep it clean and working properly and getting the flavors out, basically. The other one's kind of like just a basic shoot from the from the grinders into the little hopper. This is more of a grindy like this, where the other one's more of a conical grinder thing. So, and you can't get into that one as much as you can get. I mean, you can take this one fully apart. That one, it doesn't feel like you can really take it fully apart and get it back together properly. So I don't bother. And it's kind of funny because this spring that tightens is what brings the grinder, the two grind parts together. So, so you got to line this up properly, get it screwed on there straight, which we do now. And it goes on fairly easy. It's just when you get down to the bottom where you're getting your tension on, it's a little bit more difficult, and a little bit more difficult, and a little bit more difficult, because that's the spring compressing right there. And that's where the end is. And when it arrived, the little needle was pointing right here, and I guess that this is this way so that you can kind of adjust it if you got like a micrometer that will kind of tell you how fine your espresso is. So you can kind of go down here and be like, it's super fine. This is the finest espresso ever. And then you can kind of adjust your little needle manually to do that. I'm not into that. So anyway, so that's all cleaned out now. Now we can wash these brushes out. I mentioned this before, but the idea of making a coffee brush made to brush out fine dark grounds white was not the from a design perspective, not so much. So rinse those out, put those in there, turn off our water. So yeah, so I just got back from the doctor's office. I went up to the our pharmacy, and I'll be darned if the power's not out at the pharmacy. So they said it'd come back on around 1:30ish. So I'll probably go back up there about 1:30, because I do have an update to a medication plus an additional medication that I need to start using for a short amount of time. Now that we're here and ready to go, here's the OXO Rapid Brewer. This thing is so cool. I've been enjoying my use of it. Easy to clean, works super well. I'm going to do the Peppermint Mocha through this morning, because that's what I feel like. A1C is in good shape. I'm very happy about that. I was worried, because you start falling, it's not like I'm overeating or anything, or I'm eating more, it's just that, I'm still eating the same amount as when I started taking the Ozempic. So, but you don't know, and I'm not sticking my finger every day. So because I'm just not at that point. If it ever gets to a point where it's like, I need to manage it, then, we'll start finger sticking. But we got a finger stick today at the doctor's office, and it was at a good level. Actually, it was a really great level. So, I was really happy about that. Because I have diabetes, I actually had a diabetic eye test today. That wasn't annoying as hell. And it wasn't as annoying as hell to the nurse either. The nurse was like, God, this damn machine's got a mind of its own. It was really kind of annoying. See, they got me on the side of the finger for the stick, which didn't feel it. And then I got a flu shot. Didn't feel it. Best nurse ever. Best nurse ever. Mom, my mother level of nurse. When you can't feel it, she didn't have to say, here comes a little stick. She just, and done. And it was great. I was very, very happy about that. What is this? About 23 grams for this. This is the concentrate, basically. So we'll dilute it a little bit with water, and then we'll dilute it the rest of the way with half and half. Perfect. But yeah, this is just, I don't know. Is it annoying to people? I don't care. Honestly, I don't care. Go get yourself taken care of. Make sure you're okay. You know, it's like think about it if you're ever on a plane. What do they say? If the masks drop. Make sure your mask is on first, and then get the kids' masks on. I think that's I think that's very appropriate. Oh, right. I don't even need that, do I? Boom. Oh, it's so great. Oh, I didn't put the... Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, it's all right. I don't need to put that in there, do I? It's a nice step, but I think that we'll just do it. We'll do her normal this time. So I haven't even turned the water on. Hello, everybody, and welcome to... I didn't even put the damn water on. What the hell? What is wrong with me? So you should definitely go get checked out. Make sure you're okay. You know, there's no harm in it. So, I mean, it's just me coming back from a doctor's appointment, a relatively uplifting doctor's appointment. You know, A1C is in great shape. You know, I can feel my feet. You know, she did a little prick test on the bottom of my feet, and I'm like, yeah, I can feel all that. I'm getting tested for diabetes if something's wrong with my eyes. You know, that kind of thing, which I don't think anything is. Usually, it takes about 3 years for my prescription to go wonky. So, and even then, it's just slight fuzz at a distance. So, plus the fact that glasses, frames are shit sometimes. You know, sometimes I do have one pair of frames that I love that I will never get rid of, but at the same time, they're like backup glasses, but at the same time, they're like they're so small. I was actually using them in my VR before I bought VR lenses. Let's do that 80. I know I didn't put, kind of wish I did. I didn't put the paper down. I do wish I could. We could have created a little bit more pressure with that. Well, see if we can get 60 out. Like I said, I do regret that I didn't put paper down. If it doesn't work out right, I'll just do it again and we'll put paper down. But I think we're going to be fine. All right, let's do 3 presses and hold. Yeah, without the paper filter, it definitely goes through a lot faster. So we'll just... Smells great. We may just do it with a paper filter otherwise. This is concentrate. Ooh, that is very concentrate. So we're gonna finish up this. I bought another half and half. So I'm excited about that. That is very concentrated. I need to get I need a glass. Let's get a, ooh, you know what? Riff Tracks. Hey, Riff Tracks folks, get me a clear coffee mug. Not just me, everybody. Get everybody a clear coffee mug. Not just me. It's not very kind, is it? So we got about 60 grams out of the 80 grams of water that we put in there. So we got about, it says 56. I took a sip to make sure it wasn't poison. And so we're going to double it to 100. Well, a little bit more. I hope that'll take, pretty sure it'll take the heat. It's not too bad. All right, and then I'm going to add our half and half here at another decent percentage. There's a little bit left. Smell it before you put it in the coffee. Don't smell it after you put it in the coffee. It doesn't seem right, does it? Yeah, that's really good. We'll do it the right way this time. Give me 2 papers. Papers, please. We have ways of making you talk. Like a lispy German. All right, I'm pretty sure this is just, okay, nope. I'm like, this feels like 2. It might be 1, but I think it's 2. It's 2. So, all right. All right, and then the other thing is that the paper just makes it so much easier to get stuff out because it's not gonna, well, words eaten. I've eaten my words. That seemed to have come out fairly well. The puck had a lot of the water pressed out of it, so it was dry-ish. Certainly not as dry as an espresso puck, but dry-ish. All right. I guess, and somebody brought, I watch a lot of YouTube. I watch a lot of YouTube, and because we're debating still on whether we're going to go to Japan or not next year, which I'm kind of hoping that we do. It's going to be fascinating if we do. But we've been watching some social media people over who live in Japan. One of them is Chris Broad, who does a Chris Abroad. He's a British gentleman who lives in Japan and has for like 10 years now. His fiance, Charla, is also over there. She's Charmeleon on YouTube. She's been over there for like 16 years, and she's a Canadian transplant who lives over there and is thriving. She's actually got some houses. She's got like a couple places that she's turned into Airbnbs that look fantastic. They were just abandoned houses in Japan, like Sendai. Is that where they live? They live in Sendai? I think so. But they're just houses that were just completely abandoned and were like owned by the government, and the government was selling them to people, and they were able to get the houses at a very cheap rate. And what was really funny, and I recommend, ooh, that's good. I recommend you actually go and find her, Charmeleon, Charme, Charmeleon, on YouTube. She's taken one of the houses. She bought it sight unseen. Well, actually, I think they were allowed to walk through it. But it was abandoned. So it was just full of stuff. Clothing. I think the one woman who lived there was like a geisha. Clothing and furniture and appliances, and just not filthy, but almost hoarder-like, but not dirty. Yeah, it was absolutely fantastic and fascinating to watch. And then they I like the grind size. The grind size is at a 20. I kind of like the grind size, so I kept it there. Like she's just taken and kept it traditional. She's not really changed a great deal. Kept it very traditional, and yeah, it's just beautiful. She's just having some problems with. There's like an IKEA over there, and she bought an entire like kitchen, like cabinets and countertops and everything from IKEA. And the problem with IKEA, if you know, is that it comes unassembled. And getting people to come over and assemble it in a city that's got millions and millions and millions, hundreds of millions of people in it, can be incredibly difficult. So that's one of the problems that they've been running into, is getting stuff put together. But they've already done one house. It was really fantastic and beautiful and fun to watch them do. And now they've got another house that they're working on. I would assume by now, since the blogs kind of come out a couple of weeks to a month after a certain point, we're going to do another 80 here. Just make it a celebration of that my A1C is in great shape. So we'll finish out the creamer as well. 80. Nice. Let that sit for about 2 minutes. But yeah, since we've been, oh yeah, I was kind of getting to that. Since we've been watching all of these people over in Japan, and there's an Australian dude named, he's Anime Man on YouTube. He's got a couple of channels. They've all got a couple of channels. Like the Connor C.A. Dog on YouTube has also got a bunch of channels. He's funny because he goes to the Japanese crane game places and plays crane games, and it's absolutely fascinating to watch all of that stuff go on. Japanese crane games are fascinating. But yeah, Anime Man does a bunch of stuff there, and he's very easy and fun to watch. He's very knowledgeable and fun, and just he's Australian. He's Australian, and I don't remember which is his mother. Mother was Japanese, or mother is Japanese. I don't want to say was. It's awful. I don't know. I don't know specifically. One side of his family is Japanese, and he has lived in Japan for quite a while. I do kind of forget where I was going with that. Oh, well, I mean, since we're going over to Japan, we've been hoping to go to Japan. We've been watching a lot of those blogs over there, and they're fascinating. Everything, and it's just so funny because they live there. They can go everywhere. So it's like we see all of these places. I'm like, boy, that'd be cool to go to. Boy, that'd be cool to go to. But it's like we don't want to be gone longer than 12 days. Over there. There are tours that last 12 days, 16 days. Some of them last an entire month. They hit so many different places, and you're only in there for 2 days. Is she eating? Or is she going to the bathroom? Indy's over there. Indy's in the box. Indy's a box cat. This is a pillow cat. Is she eating or is she going to the bathroom? Eating. Okay, I can hear her crunch now. She's fiddling in the food bowl, trying to figure stuff out. All right. I don't know if holding this thing down makes any difference. I don't think it does, but then we just... That should be enough. Kind of jumped here and there, didn't I? That's the power of coffee. I feel really good today, actually. It's actually, it was a nice drive over. We had the appointment. It was fine. It's not too far away from the house, which is nice. Oh, good. Yeah, it started hissing. I really didn't even need that last pump. There you go. Okay. I don't know if this is going to be any different. It is different. It's weird. There's so much more peppermint smell to the coffee. About 60 grams out again, but there's such an interesting higher smell of peppermint, because with the other one it was mostly coffee, which is great, not complaining about that, but at the same time that has so much more. I'm just gonna we'll just put it up to, we'll double it. There we go. I don't think I had a lot of half and half left anyway. Yeah, that was nearly empty. This is the Snowville Creamery stuff. This is what we got from the Littleton's Market. What does it say up here? This says sell by September 21st. What's funny is that this, which I've had for a little while, says sell by February 1st. That's so strange, isn't it? I mean, this just says it's ultra pasteurized grade A. Now this is A2, which has something to do with lower lactose, I think. So people who have a problem with lactose might not have a problem with this half and half because it's A2, but this is grade A. This is just grade A half and half. So I don't know. I honestly don't know if I should mix the two. It's probably a bad idea. It's definitely a lot more yellow, I think. There we go. So yes, A2. And there's milk that's that way as well. And that's at the Littleton's Market in Upper Arlington. Or as the hip people call it, UA. The UA. There's so much more peppermint flavor when you do it this way with the peppermint mocha. It's actually a lot more tasty when all of those things are mixed together that way. I'll go downstairs, edit this up, wait until 1 o'clock to roll around, and then I will go and see if there's electricity at my pharmacy. I came up the road and I'm like, ooh, the gas station's lights aren't on, telling me what how much the gas is right there. That's kind of weird. Oh well, maybe they're having work done. No, they weren't having work done. Power's out, which is hard on everybody. At least on that side of the street. The light was working. The street light was working, which is good. Heaven forbid that go out in the middle of that small town. But, yeah. So, talk to your doctor. Get a doctor. You know, if you have insurance and can do so, you should definitely do everything you can to try to make yourself feel better. Secure your own face mask before turning to help the person next to you secure theirs. It's really hard to be someone that can steer other people in the right direction if your direction is lost too. So, you know, I would always highly suggest that everyone, well, speaking of everyone, there she goes. That everyone should, but especially men who may have been told at one point in their life that it doesn't matter. You know, it does. It does matter. You should definitely take care of yourself. Feeling better is amazing. Feeling great is fantastic, but feeling better than you did, say, a year ago, is absolutely amazing, and I would recommend it to anyone. You know, it doesn't even have to be weight loss. You know, it could just be, maybe it could be a diet change. Maybe it could be just seeing your doctor. Reassurance that you're in the right direction can be such an amazing motivator. It doesn't even have to be a doctor. You know, it can be your partner, your spouse, your parents, your nephews, your grandkids. Gee, Uncle Matt, you look great. You're doing a good job at whatever you're doing. I mean, sometimes that's enough to keep you motivated to keep going. Not that my nephews have ever said that. I think Riley's come close to it, but I don't think they've ever really. They don't have to. I've got enough positive reinforcement around me, to be honest with you, that it's not like, I mean, it would be nice. I'm not going to lie. But at the same time, I would never put that on top of them. So, Lance Hendrick's method of putting the 2 pieces of paper down, smaller amount of water, finer grind, and then pressing the hell out of it, fantastic. Highly recommend it. Don't skimp out on the paper either. If you got the paper and you've got one of those OXOs, and you can get some of those smaller papers that are designed for the AeroPress, because they do fit in there. And just having those two for some reason, and then the pressure that it causes, because it holds back a little bit more water. The pressure that it causes definitely helps bring more peppermint out in this peppermint mocha, which is desirable, at least for me. Thanks for watching today. I hope you have a great day, as Lady would say, right? Not gonna say a word? It's a pain in the ass. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Have a great day. Bye.